and welcome to another edition of the OHIO Podcast Roundtable. We got some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be diving into the release of Ohio State's 2026 schedule and how the Big Ten absolutely hates us and doesn't want us to go back to a college football playoff. We'll get into that in a little bit. We got Deon Sanders out here trying to find players, trying to treat Colorado like it's a pro organization after they went 3-9. We're going to dive into that tonight as well. Make sure you're a member and a subscriber to the YouTube channel here, guys. It's absolutely free, cost you nothing. I actually put a poll up just a few minutes ago before we got started. 17% of those who've responded to the poll aren't even subscribers here. What's going on, man? Help us throw a brother a bone, man. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. That'll send it out to that YouTube algorithm a whole lot more. We appreciate that as well. And, of course, be active in the chat if you can. If you're watching on TV and you'd like to give us a thumbs up, hit your up button on your remote. That'll give you the option to then scroll to the right to the thumbs up. Hit that enter. Bada boom, bada bang. That's how you give us a nice little like. Hey, you can take us wherever you go via podcast. That's right. That's in the name, the OHIO Podcast. That's how we started. Make sure you download us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you get your audio format on. And give us a 5-star review if you don't mind, so we can be in the earbuds or the radio if you're taking us in your car or truck, however you listen to us. So we can get more people just like you. All right, guys. Tonight's panel, got the home team below me. That would be one Dr. Corey. Doctor, tell me the news. Do you have a bad case of wanting to be in the Florida Blues?
No, I'm fine.
You're okay with this?
I mean, it is what it is, you know. See, some people have the strength to endure this. Some people just don't. So.
You guys up on the lake are getting, what, another 2-3 inches tonight, aren't you?
Got about I was at work today, and it just, for like an hour, just like you couldn't even see anything. It was so freaking snowy.
He's over there being like, anybody want any eggshell? Anybody?
Well, here's the funniest thing is the lake effect machine was hitting as far south as Marion. Bucyrus actually had snow squall warnings out today.
Snow what?
Snow squalls, where you get those whiteouts.
Is that like a snow Indian?
Chris, I understand if you want to leave.
Moving on. Sean Schrock's in the house tonight. Talk about being up there on that lake. What's up, buddy?
Oh, it's nice and toasty up here. If you're a polar bear.
Yeah, there you go. Chris, you ready to hate me yet?
I could never hate you, Eric.
I know
you're too much fun to torture.
That's the truth. Your training begins tonight, by the way. Oh, this is going to be a fun show, everybody. We appreciate you all joining us. Let's get right into it this evening.
So, are you saying you are Chris's mentor?
Oh, gosh.
Just in training purposes.
He is my Yoda.
I am nice. One.
Chris is a Padawan.
Oh, hey, look. Well, let's stop the presses. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Always Irish ink in the chat. Does Stevie Wonder in the top right love Marcus Freeman yet, or what?
Oh,
you know, the only thing I hate more than Marcus Freeman is that BS of Notre Dame getting a free pass into the playoffs when they can't earn it on their own. That's the only thing that I hate more than Notre Dame.
Oh, man.
Or Marcus Freeby. Because that's his name now. That's the only way he can get into the playoffs. So from now on, his name isn't Freeman, it's Freeby.
Marcus Freeby, huh? Good to see you, Johnny. Good to have you with us, buddy. All right, let's get right into it, man. Deon Sanders, before we dive into how the Big Ten is trying to sabotage Ohio State in 2026. Marcus Freeman. Deon Sanders has instituted into the Colorado program I guess you could say fine penalties for breaking team rules. If you're late to practice, that's $500. You no-show to practice, that's $2,500. Late to a meeting, $400. No-show that meeting or film session, $2,000.
Wow.
Late to strength and conditioning workout, that's 1,000. You no show, that's 1,500. Late to treatment, that's another 1,000. No show to treatment, give me 1,500. Violation of team rules, that's 1,000 to 2,500 based on the severity. And if you're wondering what those team rules are, here are some of the things he laid out. No cell phones, food, or drinks are going to be permitted in meeting rooms. That would be a team rule being broken. As well as no swearing. The profanity needs to stop, he says. This is a direct quote. We're not the only ones in the cafeteria. You need to be respectful and make sure we respect our women. Is there any women in here? Sorry, bad movie reference. If you get out of pocket and start calling our women by their first name, that's a problem with me. Okay. Deon Neon, instituting fines with his program. Wow. Go for it, Corey.
Well, some of those rules are a little weird, admittedly, but good. Good for Deon. I am fully on board with this. You want to be paid like pros. You want to act like pros. We have had the inmates running the asylum ever since NIL started, and finally there's some consequences. Good for Deon. I 1,000,000% support this. In fact, I don't even think the fines are enough, to be honest with you, because quite frankly, it seems like we live in a society now, I'll wax on a little bit here, where people want all the glory without the consequences. They want everything without understanding the responsibility that comes with it. You know, you want to be paid. Hey, we fully support that. But it is not just do whatever you want land anymore. Or at least I'm seeing coaches finally starting to fight back on this. And Deon has just put a major flag into the ground saying, you know what? You get paid now. Guess what? You're late to practice. This isn't, run laps. It's going to hurt your wallet. Good job, Deon. Very happy.
You notice he instituted this after his kids are gone, though.
That's a good point.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the penalties we have to pay here when we screw up on the Ohio podcast. Eric, fines us all these dollars. So I mean,
his fines are steep too, man. Jeez.
I mean, hey man, I applaud him. I hope more coaches follow suit, man. It's good for him. But I mean, I just think it's a little too late for him, though. I mean, his kids were running, going crazy over there, doing whatever they wanted. Now they leave. Now he wants to hammer everybody. I just think it's kind of hypocritical, but hey, good for him.
Okay, chat. What I'm going to need now is a bunch of super chats to pay my fines to Eric, because I 100% agree with Corey here. I 100% am in favor of this. We are the NFL's younger, cheaper cousin. Stop lying to ourselves about amateurism, about education, about the purity of the game. That's all out the window. And let me tell you, Duke University, Dabo Swinney, Deion Sanders, I commend all three of them for coming out and trying to take action when the NCAA doesn't have the balls to do it. It's about time somebody tries to rein this in. I mean, yeah, right now, let's face it, we don't have an entity that is policing this. But you know what? This is just NFL cosplay is all this is. These guys are pretending to be NFL players, but they want none of the consequence, just like Corey said. Well, you know what? It is time to hold these kids accountable. And by God, if the NCAA isn't going to do it, then thank you, Dabo Swinney, for calling these guys and these kids and these coaches out. Thank you, Duke University, for filing suit and trying to hold somebody accountable. And thank you, Deion Sanders, for probably the first and only smart thing you've done in your coaching career. This is great. I 100% am behind it.
$5 super chat from DK. He's helping pay your fine there, Chris.
All right.
Y'all can take a sigh of relief knowing you don't have to play Purdue in 2026. Thank you.
I'm just laughing at his name.
Oh, you know what? You want to see a laughable schedule? Go to Indiana's schedule. What a freaking joke.
This is from my dad jabbing back at you there, Chris. Congrats, Chris. Your Browns have an all-pro QB.
First of all, they're not my Browns. I disowned them.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh.
I have not watched an NFL game since week 1, and I will not watch the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, you will, because we're watching it over on Patreon, buddy.
Well,
Watch it together.
you know what? You watch the Super Bowl. I'll come on to Patreon and flip something else on my screen here.
Oh, listen to this.
I'll watch Varsity Blues.
That's a great movie, by the way. Okay.
Overrated.
You three are all in the same boat, so I guess it's a 3-on-1. Here we go. This is just another publicity stunt by Deon Sanders. He cannot face the fact that he's not in the limelight, that people aren't, all the attention isn't on him. I got to get the attention back on me, so I'm going to set some kind of standard and rules that no one's going to abide by. Let's be honest. Like, he can set it all on paper. He can talk about it. Do you really think those players are going to go in the locker room and all of a sudden they're going to be angels or in that locker room? Do you think Deon Sanders is like, what precedent is he setting here by saying, hey, guys, in the cafeteria, you can't talk, but I'm going to drop whatever F-bomb and this bomb and that bomb in the locker room before a game. Like, don't be hypocritical about it. I think this is completely just another publicity stunt by Deon Sanders. It's all it is.
I couldn't disagree more. This is actually great for the game. This is good for the college football game on several levels. First of all, it, like we said, it instills accountability. It creates culture, Eric. It really does. It is going to create a culture. Now, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real for a second. You're talking about a 3-9 football team with nothing to lose. That's one of the reasons that he can do this right now. But this is the perfect place to get it started. I mean, and this is good for the players because if they are going to go to the league.
Is it really, though?
Yes, because if they're going to.
Okay,
if they're going to go to the league.
So the guy who's got no NIL all of a sudden has to pay money that he doesn't have.
Then don't screw up. Then don't. Maybe if you're showing up to your practices and your film on time, you would be getting NIL.
Does this only? Oh, okay. So because I'm not good enough to get NIL, I show up to practice and now I get it. Please, Chris.
No,
I'm
not saying that's
true.
the only reason you get it, but. Maybe you get better if you show up to practice on time. Maybe you get better if you go and watch film. But I'll tell you what you don't do is get any better by leaving your ass wherever you're at when you're not where you're supposed to be. Secondly, it is good for the players because it's going to teach them the accountability they're going to face in the league. Those guys who are going to get into the league, it's going to teach them that accountability now. Also, and let's call it what it is. This is going to drive this to the full-on NIL model, or the NFL model quicker. This is going to push this quicker to the NFL model, which is going to mean we're going to have collective bargaining. We're going to get unionization by the employee or by the players quicker because how long do you think it's going to take them to unionize once the fines start getting handed out? We're going to move to unionization, collective bargaining, and NFL, a full NFL style, quicker.
Nope.
With this. Absolutely we are.
Nope.
Because these players are not going to take the whole concept of, I got fined.
Nope.
They're going to want somebody to complain to.
Yeah, they're going to go to their agencies. They're going to go to their agents and their agencies who are then going to sue Colorado and they're going to say this is illegal and it's going to go to court and these players are going to win.
Where's it illegal?
How in the world is it legal to be fined for something when you're not getting any money for it? They're not employees, Chris.
Okay, well then I'm just going to bench your ass then. I don't care if you're a 5-star starter. You're going to sit.
Now
and I'm not going to pay you your NIL.
That's been going on for decades.
I'm not going to pay you your NIL.
What NIL? Not everybody gets NIL.
Okay, but what you're talking about is let's face it, Eric, you're talking about the players that don't matter. You were talking about the players that don't matter at this point.
That's lovely to say, Chris, that if you don't get NIL, if you make a team and you don't get NIL, you don't matter. Really, bro?
Odds are.
Really?
Odds are. The players that aren't getting NIL aren't the ones who are committing these infractions anyhow. The ones who are committing these infractions are the divas who are getting NIL. You know it as well as I do. With the pay comes the entitlement, and with the entitlement comes the infractions. You know it as well as I do. So those players are the ones who are going to be affected by this, and those are the ones that need to be affected by this, because that 2-star, fourth string offensive guard that you're talking about that has no money, he's there because he wants to be anyhow. He's not going to be the guy who's late to practice. He's not going to be the guy who's not going to the film study. He's there because he wants to be there. He's probably there on just a scholarship.
All right, Corey.
Hmm?
Now that Chris and I have we've yelled at one another and we've made about 4 people mad in the chat who said that there's ringing in their ears now. My apologies. First time on the show, we yell at each other. It's what we do. Corey, have I changed your mind at all with my emotional rant?
Oh, I'm sorry I wasn't listening.
Sorry, my ears ringing. What?
No, not at all. I totally agree with Chris, and on top of that, it's not to say that Deon can't make exceptions for guys who don't get NIL. I mean, there's clearly $20 million going into that roster. There's a lot of guys getting the NIL. There's nobody on there that's getting Jeremiah Smith money, so it's being spread out pretty well. And not only that, I would assume that Deon came up with these rules that he has a structure in place, knowing what his roster is making. So I don't think he would just do it willy nilly. And I don't. Here's another thing. I have an NPR voice. Thank you, DK. And today in the news, no.
Doesn't it feel good to be associated with NPR, Corey?
I love it. I am so happy right now.
You're one step from BBC.
They're getting funded about as much as I am right now. But no, I look at it and I say, right now we're letting the inmates run the asylum. I don't know where the NIL is coming from either. Is it the school paying them? Pretty much schools are pretty much paying kids now. So, I mean, if the school's paying them, then they can absolutely fine you. I don't even think that'll die in court at all. I could definitely see where a situation where maybe they have an argument if they're making outside money. But if the school compliance program set them up with that, even they have a right to say, look, you're making money now. These are the fines you get if you come late, or whatever the rules. Some of the rules are a little silly in my opinion. But that being said, I think overall there has to be structure in place, and even if this loses out in court, fine, keep pushing the envelope, know, because this is ridiculous. We all think it's ridiculous where it's at right now. The inmates are running the asylum. We say it's actually worse in college than it ever has been in the NFL. I do agree, Chris. Collective bargaining is going to be coming down at some point because I actually think the coaches will want it because they need some structure in place. Right now, it's just Wild West and it's crazy. So I don't know if this will hold up or not. I just applaud Deon for the effort on that one.
In all honesty, guys, nobody should be getting fined if you look at that. You shouldn't be late to meetings. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, come on. I mean, if you're getting fined for missing meetings or being late or no showing to a practice, then you deserve it. You're a moron. And I think, like Chris said, the guys that are, it's not set up for the guys that aren't starters. I mean, a lot of those guys are going to be making it because they want to play. It's the prima donnas that are pulling this crap. So I say, if it doesn't hold up, then start benching these kids. But a lot of these kids, if they're going to get mad, they're just going to leave anyways.
Of course. According to no, that's not what I was asking AI if we had a total for how much Deion Sanders has been fined during his NFL career. That was before AI existed, apparently. I'd be interested to find that out. Sean Ramsey, who I disagree 99.9% of the time in the chat, said, "Who's going to enforce anything?" Great question.
Deon.
That is the worst case scenario for a head coach.
It's a case he's putting on himself. Then I mean,
yes.
I mean that's the thing. Can he handle it? He's the one who has to. It isn't like somebody came to him and said, "Do this." He goes, "Okay, fine." No, he's the one behind this for sure. And if he has to enforce it, fine. His coaches say, "Hey, look, so and so was late to practice." Well, fine him. Well, he doesn't want to pay it, then he won't play.
So he's judge and jury, right?
He's the head coach.
Buck Vader, does he have an appeal process? I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios. Let's say,
Appeal process for
If there
being late to
isn't-
practice?
yes.
I mean,
If there is,
no, there's not going to be an appeal process for that.
Here's the thing.
Mhm.
There should be something, Corey, because you don't know what comes up. Maybe something happens where a kid
But
runs over
it's
on
the
a
same
test,
thing as anything
or-
else. Then you go to Deon, the coach, say, "Look, I was late because my
Yes.
mom's in the hospital."
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, there's
Correct.
common sense here. Come on.
When you say appeal process, I'm thinking, what, they got to go to court or something? What are you talking about? I mean, can they talk to the coach? Of course they can.
Yeah.
Now, if he disagrees and says, "I don't care," then they can transfer, and they don't like it.
And-
They go somewhere else.
And if they can't talk to the coach, they can send Kyle McCord's dad in to do it.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
It worked out well for him.
That's a callback to yesterday's super secret show over in the asylum after the show. I find this incredibly disingenuous from Deion Sanders. I really do. I just don't think.
I don't think so. I really
Mm,
don't, Eric. I believe he is trying to make an impact right now.
I actually think this is right up Deon's alley, if anything. That's
I
actually
do too.
when I heard it was Deon, actually I was like, yeah, I could see him doing that.
I mean, I think he's sick of his team acting like a bunch of clowns, and he's trying to put the hammer down.
I mean, let's remember the first thing he did was came in and said, "Listen, you're not going to dress like this. You're not going to dress like fools and thugs. You're going to wear proper attire when you're, representing this team." That was one of the
But-
first things he did when he came onto campus.
let's stop and analyze what actions he has had. And I don't want to get into this too much more because we got a huge topic we need to get to.
I don't know if the schedule's that huge of a topic, to be honest with you.
Marcus Freeman.
I do. I think it's a massive topic.
Marcus Freebie.
Freebie.
So he's been there at Colorado. This is year number 3 or 4?
4. I think it's
4.
4.
Every single year, he's had one of the most largest turnovered rosters
Mhm.
in college football, year after year after year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that speaks more to the kind of culture he himself is establishing? Why not?
We just had 28 people in the portal. I mean,
We lost 47 people off this roster.
Mhm.
Does that mean Day's culture sucks, Eric?
You brought it into question, did you not?
I did.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't mean it's. I mean,
I
you
brought
talking
it
about
into
Ryan
question.
Day's
I
culture?
didn't say it sucked for sure, but I brought it into question. But here's what I'm going to say. NIL, obviously a factor. Tampering, without a doubt, obviously a factor. And the fact that he holds his players accountable, obviously a factor, because a lot of today's players are whiny pansies who can't take being coached. It's that simple.
And not to mention, what does this fine system tell me? Is it tells me that it might not just be Colorado for what it's worth. These guys are making such good money. It's hard to get them to come to practice. It's hard to get them to come to treatment. It's hard to get them because they're making money. Who cares? I mean, my dad always said this about Michael Jordan in the 90s when he was making $38 million a year just in his basketball contract, not including Nike and Gatorade and all that stuff. He says that guy still wants to win. It's amazing. He makes
Yes.
that kind of money and he still wants to win. That's not everybody.
No.
They get the money and all of a sudden, I'm good. I got a couple $1,000,000. I mean, I really don't need to do anything. I don't care if I'm late. What's he going to do to me? I make a couple million. I mean, there's no, I mean, we're already having disputes on whether or not we got to pay kids if they want to leave or not. I mean, kids want to do anything they want and still get their money.
Mhm.
It's time that coaches start fighting back on this stuff. It's making me hate college football. It really is. So I see this. I'm like, at least you're trying something. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if he can uphold it. I don't know if he can enforce it. I just appreciate that there's something that it's the mindset of some of these coaches now. Like, this is getting out of hand. I can't control my team anymore.
We
I
found
like
the
that
root cause
he's
right
taking
here.
I like that he's taking an effort. I mean, at least he's making an effort to do something about it. I mean, it's going to have to take all these coaches kind of to band together to fight back against these players.
Well, Sean, I think you just stumbled on a Illuminati podcast. Will the coaches unionize before the players? I've never thought of that.
I
That
don't
would
know
be
because I
interesting.
think it'd be harder for them to leave for other jobs if they did. But
Yeah. no.
Buck Vader. See, this is why you need Chris. You took a year of law school. Have these rules been approved by the
I
Colorado
have no
Labor
idea.
Board?
I took a year of
no.
law school. Yeah, I didn't
We're
know
not. But here's the thing: we're not claiming.
I haven't reviewed Colorado's labor relations
I'm
practices
just saying,
recently.
is that something that, wouldn't that cross your mind?
It
You're-
is something that would.
How do we know that Deon hasn't crossed
except
the
that
T's
they're
and dotted
not
his I's on this?
employees, so they aren't considered paid labor.
I could just see Deon doing his little shuffle all the way in there to the labor union.
We're not. By the way, for Chris, I'm speak for Chris and Sean and I on this one. We're not saying we know all the answers to this. We keep getting questions. I get they're good questions, but it's like we're claiming we like the effort and where it's going.
Yeah.
We have no idea if it's going to hold.
And
up.
it should be instilled. The accountability needs to be there for these
something.
I am getting so sick of these athletes doing what they want, jumping from school to school, screwing over the institution that gave them an opportunity. This whole thing with it, I'll tell you, I commended Duke earlier, but I'm going to be critical of Duke right now. They should not have let that Mensa kid off the hook with a settlement. They should have drug this out to court, and they should have drug it into the middle of next season so he couldn't even play for Miami next year.
I agree.
That's what they should have done to make a statement with these guys. It's ridiculous. These players think they own the world. And right now, they do because the NCAA is too pansy-ass to do anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Preach, Chris.
Well, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. Thank you to Duke. Thank you to Dabo. Thank you to Deon, who I don't necessarily like any of them, but at least they've all got the balls to stand up and try to do something.
And thank you for Tennessee for Nico Emma leaving. What they stood up to him. I mean,
yes.
And that idiot lost money.
Yep.
I mean, now is the NCAA too pansies to do something, Chris? Or are they intentionally not doing something to watch, just to sit there and get
That's
their
a good
payback,
question.
get their payback because they didn't want to pay anybody, and as soon as they lost in court, they were all butthurt about it, and they're just washing their hands and stepping back and say, this is what you guys wanted. Let it burn.
All
right.
Which is it, Sean? And I'm going to end it with this, if it's okay, Eric.
Yep.
Which leads to the only solution, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language. I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Sean, I mean, Tennessee might have been caught, but everybody's tampering. Everybody, even Ohio State tampered with Baylor's kicker. Come on, everybody's tampering.
Yeah, we went over that the other day. Even I think it was almost 70%, Chris, in the chat in the poll said that they believe Ohio State has tampered.
Oh, I have no doubt that Ohio State.
I have no doubt, and you have to.
And you look, tampering, tampering, and Dabo covered this a little bit. There's different forms of tampering. There's tampering, which is calling somebody once they're in the portal and saying, "Hey, I've got an interest," or saying, "Hey, we can throw you this much money." Or there's tampering, which is calling the agent saying, "Hey, we may be interested if your player enters the portal." But then there's tampering when a head coach texts the player and says, "Here you go. Here's $1 million contract. All you got to do is come on down."
Chris, you better check your internet connection, brother.
Well, the thing is, guys, when they jump into the portal and they say, and they have a no contact, you can't contact them. Well, how do they know where they're going already if they haven't been tampered with? I mean, come on.
Oh, I love it, Ken. Ken Taco Hut. This is a great liner. We don't tamper, we tinker. I love that.
Well, they just send a third-party guy to go talk to them.
Oh, yeah,
Is that really
absolutely.
tampering?
Yeah.
Come on.
I guarantee you Pantone has got the phone numbers of all these different agencies on the line. He knows who they are. He probably has a spreadsheet of every player and who their agent is. So he knows which agent to even contact. And he's, hey, listen, we never talk to that player. You talk to the agency, the representative of the player. I guarantee it. I'll say that I want to ask this question before we move on. By the way, this topic was suggested by our insider Buck Vader. So I'll tip of the hat to him. Would you like to see Ryan Day publicly come out with some similar form of punishment for Ohio State's players? Yes or no, and why? Start with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd be fine with it. Like for all the reasons I just stated above, accountability. Again, one thing that's making me can't stand the NIL era isn't the fact that kids are getting paid. I believe they should. It's the fact that there's no limitations or no accountability. There's no rules in place, and the NCAA sitting back, and maybe it's what Sean said, and they just like, hey, I'm gonna let it burn because they wanted this. But even if that's the case, coaches have if they're going to have to start taking their own actions into this case. Now, maybe Ryan Day doesn't feel his team needs this, but honestly, it wouldn't bother me in the slightest because it's like some of these guys are getting paid up just crazy amounts of money. So, and that's fine. Again, it is perfectly fine with me. But you're late. It doesn't mean you get to now. Thank God we got character kids like Jeremiah Smith who works his tail off, even though he's getting paid whatever, and he's not late to meetings and things like that. But you're going to be working in the portal. You got to set some standards for kids coming into Ohio State. And it goes beyond, we still live in this cliche of, everything's about tradition and everything's about the school program anymore. That's kind of dead at this point. If a kid's coming from the portal, he don't care. He's just getting paid to play. Then you got to set some kind of standards in place. And what do they understand most, as we've seen in college football? They understand money. Okay, fine. Then guess what? You're late to practice, we hit your pocket. You're late to whatever, all the the rules. Now, some of us like women by first name or something. I don't understand crap like that. But when it comes to the field, not even performance, just showing up on time, meetings, unless you have good reasons, a car crash or whatever, then fine. But if you're just being lazy and you're just disrespecting the team, yeah, it's going to hit your wallet. I'll be fine with it.
I mean, we just had a kid.
Real quick before you go, Sean. Ryan Day's championship beard. Our players aren't in the news for bad behavior. Not even our own sites. Our players don't need poked. I think.
And Ryan Day is in agreement right now. He obviously hasn't done it, so he doesn't feel they need to, and that's fine too. I'm not saying he has to do it. So if he did do it, I'd say okay. Ryan Day has a reason for doing this.
DK into his A. I didn't see that.
That's hilarious. I love that.
If Georgia's players got fined for DUIs, ...
I mean, they do get fined from the state, but I don't know about the.
Yeah.
And who picks up the tab on those?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. WBuck21. No, deal with it internally. Peer pressure and laps. The underclassmen should. The upperclassmen.
Okay, we don't live in 1983 anymore. I don't know what to tell you.
I think the code reds are gone at this point.
No, I'm going to push back slightly. I'm telling you that class in 2024 that won the national championship in 2025, those seniors, they were different, guys.
That's fine, and that's not saying that can't happen. But the whole idea, make them run laps. Okay.
I mean, when we were at practice, who ended up running all those laps, Chris?
Turbo Rogers.
Must
have ran 50 laps that day because Locke was up his backside. And then when he wasn't running fast enough, Locke starts chasing after him, yelling at him.
He did. He was giving him the biz. Locke was yelling at him from the 50, and he's running.
Like, this ain't a high school boy!
And he gets to the end zone, turns the corner, and Locke's meeting him in the end zone, still yelling at him. I've never seen a position coach go off like that, man.
Granted, we have Coach Locke, so that might be a fine in and of itself. So
yeah. And it was at an open public practice, which is very embarrassing for a player to get undressed in front of the public like that, who's a freshman. That was a old school.
Well, you shouldn't be undressing kids. That's weird. But anyway,
you know what I meant. Verbally undressing. Chris,
this isn't Penn State. Come on,
shame on you. All right, we're off topic. Sean, go for it, buddy. Are you okay with Ryan Day instituting this?
I would be, but I don't think he has to right now. I mean, if you look, we had one kid miss practice this year, and he sat his butt on the bench. So, I mean.
Yeah, and he left too, didn't he?
Yeah, hey, grow up. That's just, if you can't make it to practice, then you deserve to be fined, man. I mean, it's common sense.
Now he's got to go to mass every week or more. I don't know.
DK program. It's a program.
No, I would not be mad if Ryan Day did it, but I don't think in our system here with our program that he needs to do it right now. I mean, but if they start getting out of control, I would not care if he put these rules in place.
Chris,
and why not just put the stuff in the contract they sign?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Now that I'm actually If you sign your name to it in the contract and that's what you agree with,
Yeah, but look at him now.
I got no beef with it.
Look
And
at
just
we're trying to get out of it now.
Yeah.
I am totally in favor of Ryan Day doing this if he feels it's necessary. At this point, like these guys both said, I don't think it is necessary, but if it's necessary, I am totally in favor of it. And by the way, Eric,
Yes.
he didn't have to go to Mass as long as he's one of the top 12 performing players on the team.
What?
The guy who transferred to Notre Dame, as long as he's one of the top 12 performing players on the team, he doesn't have to go to Mass.
Why 12?
He gets to play anyhow.
And you know what? I
top
often,
12 in college football, you get to go to the CFP. Okay, I got you.
I often disagree with Sean too, but I agree with him there. Contracts don't even matter right now in college
No.
football. That's how
They
crazy.
really don't. We just saw that with Mensa.
Yep, he's right. That's how crazy. God, you know, there is, again, if nobody steps in to enforce anything,
which is why I wanted it to go to court. That's why I really wanted that to go to court.
let that get
and
settled.
see, because that was a contract that was legally binding, and even our legal expert said this is an enforceable contract, basically. And I wanted to see that go to court for that reason.
Well, Chris, 14 out of 6, 20 people voted in the poll. 14 agreed with you. So you win that argument. It's the first time in a long time you've beat me in an argument, buddy.
I
Honestly,
always
guys,
win. I never lose. If you don't believe me, just ask. I'll tell you.
honestly, until someone starts stepping up and fighting these guys, they're just going to keep doing it. That would have been perfect for Duke to stick it to that kid and take him to court. But now that that kid got away with it, next kid's going to think he can get away with it. It's just never going to stop.
Well,
absolutely.
Look what the Washington kid tried to do.
Yeah, he's still there though, isn't he?
Yeah, they got him back, but he was about ready to just sign it. He signed a $4 million contract, and then he about left.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is at this point. All right, moving on. We've got 20 minutes left. This next one's going to go over into the after show. I guarantee it. This is the official schedule that was released today from Ohio State. We knew, or from the Big Ten, we knew the games that we were going to play. We just didn't know the order that they were going to be in. Ball State to start the year off September 5th at home. That's a dub. On the road in Arlington, Texas, in the home and home with Texas. That's going to be a battle, folks. At home against Kent State, the proverbial yearly Ohio school sacrificial lamb gets to come into the shoe. Open up Big Ten play a week later against Illinois at home. Go on the road the following week for our first road game in the Big Ten in Kinnick. Guarantee it's a night game.
That's one that scares the hell out of me every year or every other year. Whenever we play them at Kinnick, it scares me.
At home the following week, October 10th against Maryland. That should be a win. This has got to be Loxley's last year's coach, right? How did he survive this year? I have no idea.
Because there was no good coaches left. The carousel was in overdrive.
And they had that freshman quarterback. He played better than Bryce Underwood. So I mean, that's not saying much. But
then the second half of the schedule gets buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. On the road, October 17th, rematch with Indiana in Bloomington. Then a bye week. Then for Halloween, we travel out west to LA to the Coliseum to take on the USC Trojans. Fly right back the following week, home game against Oregon. There's your season right there. Indiana, USC, Oregon. You cannot fall apart in the middle of this schedule, or you are not going back to a college football playoff. Regardless of what happens against Texas, regardless of what happens at the end of November against Scum and our house, that right there, Indiana, USC, Oregon, back to back to back, with a bye week in between Indiana and USC, is your season. We'll get to that in just a second. November 14th, home game against Northwestern. Last road game of the year is in Lincoln, Nebraska on the 21st. And then we finish the season against Scum on the 28th at home. I'll start with you, Corey, work our way back to me. your initial thoughts of this schedule. Anything jumps out to you right away? Anything you want to talk
Well,
about?
I'll say that and I mean this sincerely. This is the first schedule I've seen of Ohio State in the playoff era in quite some while that I feel like we could miss the playoff. It's possible. Like last year, or this past season, I should say, I didn't know we'd go 12-0, but I didn't think we had a schedule that would cause us to miss the playoff. This one, you know, you're right. You lose to Texas early, then you can't afford much of a slip up in that middle trench period. Then the Indiana, SC, and Oregon. Now SC doesn't scare me on its own, but in sandwiched in between those two, that's really tough, especially going to LA. Illinois doesn't bother me. Iowa and Kinnick's always a little tricky. I still think we'll win. Maryland's basically playing Ball State or Kent State at this point. Northwestern sometimes gives us a game, and it'd be right
Yep.
after that 3-game stretch.
It
That's a
is at
trap game.
home though, which I like.
Yeah, true, but
If that was in Chicagoland, I would be like, ooh.
to be honest, that's to me a bit of a trap game, a little bit. Only because you're going through I don't say murderer's row, but you're going through a really tough stretch there. Nebraska probably play us a little tough on the road, so that back half of the schedule is tough. And Michigan, you just never know. I mean, with that game, um, I think this will be one of the years where it's a true test of Ryan Day's mettle as a head coach. We do have plenty of talent to sift our way through it, but I definitely see a 10-2 season coming. And I think people, unfortunately, will look at that and say Ryan Day's lost it or something along those lines. Not really. This is a tough schedule, and on paper anyway. Now, granted, last year we thought Penn State would be great, for example, and look, they collapsed. Who knows what will happen? But on paper right now, yeah, this is a tough one. But you know what? Our own players this year said that they were just waiting to play somebody, because it was so easy for a while there. And yeah, they lost twice. I get it, but I think the players on the team are going to love this competitive schedule. I think they're going to thrive off it and get. And on top of that, many times we play these games, we're going to find ways or find our weaknesses and find out where we can get better. The issue is, can we get through the game with the weaknesses intact? So it'll be a little bit interesting. I'm actually really glad. I know I'm not going to. I wasn't on to talk about this, but I'm really glad we got Arthur Smith right now for a schedule like this. To be honest with you, because honestly, his strengths are going to have to lead us into that later part of the schedule. So it's going to be tough. I see 10-2. I think our RDCB in the chat said that. I kind of agree with 10-2, but I could if it falls apart 8-4.
I mean, if you look, there's 6 tough games right there, man. I mean, you got Texas, then Iowa playing in Kennex never easy. Then you got Indiana. I think going out to USC, that's going to be tricky. Then you got Oregon at home. Let's not forget about Northwestern. I'm sure Chip Kelly's going to have some tricks up his sleeve because he'll want to beat Ryan Day. And of course, finishing with Scum, we've seen that in the past. What happens there? So I like that they're going to get tested early, and we're really going to see what this team's made out of. And it could be an 8-4 season. I don't see that, but I think at least 10-2, 11-1. That's what I'm going to call it.
Hayden the Diesel Freak in the chat. He says, I got us going 11-1. What's the one, Caden? I'd like to know which one you think we're going to drop.
Kent State.
Yep, definitely. Golden Flashes get us. Dang it.
Chris.
I look at this schedule and I look at it compared to the other schedules, and I say, my God, the Big Ten absolutely hates Ryan Day. They hate Ohio State. By far the toughest schedule, I believe, in the Big Ten. You've got 6 teams on there that could easily compete with you, and a couple that could sneak up on you. I'm kind of in the ballpark with Corey. I see this kind of as a 10-2 type season. But I will say this, much like Corey, I can see where this thing could go off the rails really easily. I could see this, if offensively we aren't on point, this could go off the rails very, very easily. Then you have everybody ready to hang Arthur Smith out to dry. And I'll tell you what, I said it last night. I think it was last night. And I'll say it again tonight. I think if this Arthur Smith experiment goes bad, he's not the only coach that the Ohio State fans run out of town.
You think Ryan Day gets ran out
Absolutely.
of town? What's that threshold? What's the record?
I believe I would say 8-4.
8-4 or worse, and he's no longer the coach of Ohio State.
Yes.
I think it would depend on the situation. If we get, like, say, a bunch of bad injuries and some bad luck, I think he'd
Of
survive
course,
it.
I could see that I could see maybe people giving him a pass on. But if you have a healthy team with Julian Sand coming back, Jeremiah Smith coming back, Chris Henry Jr. coming in, Brandon Ennis coming back, you've got the offensive line, a majority of it coming back. You've got a lot of changes on defense, but you've got the mad scientist back there with his pencil and his clipboard going to town. Uh, and enough good pieces to be solid on defense. I'm telling you right now, I think anything less than a playoff appearance, I think Ryan Day's on the hot seat, and I think at 8-4, he's unemployed, but probably not for long.
Right, RDCB, stock up on booze before the season. We may need it. A good thing we got a Johnny Walker on the roster now.
Do you guys think that the reason Ryan Day saw this schedule coming and that's why he went out and got Arthur Smith?
I think it's why you got a bunch of older players in the portal. You can't go to a young team with this schedule. The young team would absolutely fold to go 9-3 on the schedule. But thankfully, Julian Sand's got a year under his belt. Jeremiah Smith's an upperclassman. The offensive line coming back is all older and more experienced. Bo Jackson's got a year under his belt. Arthur Smith is an extremely experienced play caller. I understand not everybody loves it. Just accept the fact this is what Day wants to do. Just accept it that it is. It's going to be slower tempo, control the game, and Arthur Smith's okay with having a quarter or two, like just 2-yard runs to set up the defense. That's just what he wants. Because you notice last year, the offense would get picking up as the game would go on because we're banking defensive reactions. And Hartline was a young play caller and a little impatient at times and probably not great at sequencing. And Arthur Smith has all these strengths. I bet you anything Arthur Smith becomes Matt Patricia this year because honestly, he's walking into a similar situation Patricia did with the defense. We have our Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith. We have our seasoned quarterback. We have a seasoned offensive line. A lot of leadership there as well. So honestly, I was happy with the hire. I'm not going to go too much into it because obviously you guys talked about it. But with this schedule, yes, you need experience more than anything.
But here's my fear with it a little bit, Corey, is you talk about the fact that he's going to want to slow it down, the fact that Smith's going to be okay with some games where we have two bad quarters and it's just about field position. Our special teams, and I understand we've got some additions. Our special teams have not proven the ability to flip the field. We haven't proven the ability to win the close games with a field goal. And I understand it's different guys now, but we haven't proven that as a team over the last couple of years, specifically in the Ryan Day era, really. And then you look at this defense, and I think it's going to be very good under Matt Patricia, but I don't know that it's going to be the defense that we saw under Matt Patricia last year.
Probably not. I think the defense line is going to be
so offensively. I think they have to step it up. They're going to have to put more points on the board than what they did last year.
I mean, yeah, I could see that. I think they just, no matter what, we have shortened possession, so he's trying to shorten the game and keep longer drives to keep defense off the field, if anything. But it's hard. It's going to be harder just to score 40 on a consistent basis anymore, especially in this schedule. So I think he's going to try to keep their offenses off the field as much as possible, and also break them down with the run game. But I think we're going to see a lot of that with Arthur Smith. But I don't. I'll put it this way: I don't think we have an offense that can just score at will anymore, like we did 5 years ago. I just think it's just a different era because like a lot of when people are getting upset at 12 and 13 personnel, a lot of condensed formations. You look at everybody in the NFL in the last over the championship weekend. I just noticed that every NFL team is running condensed formations. Ryan Day is such a pro guy, and that's why he's going to Matt Patricia and Matt Arthur Smith. I think more than he's also looking at Press Taylor. He was looking at other NFL guys I think Matt Nagy was another one he was looking at for the offensive coordinator job because he wants that Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan type system on offense. And honestly, we have the players to do it. We'll see how successful it is. But the whole spread them out and just throw all over them is just those days are just gone from the pro to college. In fact, you look at the last few national champions, us included, going to Georgia, that team up north, Indiana. It's not the whole throw all over everybody anymore. It's a lot of ball control offense, good defense. Defenses have caught up with that offense. Good defense and solid run game, and then control the clock. I mean, it's funny because Nick Saban says you can't win like that anymore. I'm like, that's how they are winning.
I agree with what you're saying with that overall, but you have to be able to actually go out there and you have to be able to throw downfield. You have to be able to go out there and show that you have firepower at time to time. I'm not saying you go out there and try to put up 60 a game.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you do have to go out there and at times be able to run tempo. You have to go out there and at times be able to stretch the field. And I feel like we've got the players to do it. I just don't feel like last year we had the coaching to do it.
That's probably true too, Chris. I think you got a good point there. I mean, not to mention not just the fact that Julian was young, a young quarterback trying to run tempo is tough, but an offensive coordinator who had barely ever called plays. I mean, him just spitting it out and sequencing and figuring out what the next drive. Because these offensive coordinators, I was reading about it with like Arthur Smith, they think in terms of drives, not just what's the next play.
Right.
And I don't think Hartline was experienced enough to do that. That's why I love getting a guy who's had over a decade of NFL play calling experience. I get not every stop was perfect. I get it, but neither was Patricia. So I agree with what you actually. It's a long way of saying I agree with what you're saying, Chris.
Corey, I agree with you because Hartline had trouble setting stuff up. I mean, if you look at Chip Kelly, he was setting stuff up for the whole game. Just not, sometimes it just seemed like Hartline was throwing stuff up against the wall to see if it would stick.
Which is why we saw Smith one-on-one in the end of the Notre Dame game. He's just setting these things up.
Eric, what say you? You've been quiet for a long time.
I'm just running things behind the scene here. Where do you think Vegas is going to put the win total on the schedule? 9.5 or 10.5?
9.5.
Whoa, Sean! You fell off the planet.
10.
A 10. A 10. Freaking 10.
I think 10.5.
10.5, Corey?
I think they just didn't they always have don't they have us as a favorite to win it all right now?
They do.
Actually, Notre Dame surpassed Ohio State.
Did they?
Favorite, I believe.
Well, Notre Dame's schedule,
which shows how little the people in Vegas actually know.
Hey, have you guys looked at Scum's schedule?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh man, they got it worse than we do.
Seriously.
Yep.
Well, I actually happen to have every single schedule up. If you guys want to talk about that,
what is Scum's schedule? Let's hear it.
Western Michigan, then Oklahoma, then UTEP. See, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Oklahoma's at home.
Yeah, Oklahoma at home. You got Iowa at home. You go to Minnesota. You get at home. You get Indiana at home. You go to Rutgers. You get Sparty at home. You got to go to Oregon. You get UCLA at home, and then you go to Ohio State.
I mean, they get them at home, but I mean, they still got a tough schedule. As long as Penn State shows up, I mean,
I'm not going to put anything to Penn State yet.
No, but
I'm not a huge Matt Campbell fan. So.
I'm not either, and
I think that right now Penn State this next season, if I look at them at a quick glance, let's see,
8 wins.
Oh no, they got possibly the softest schedule. Michigan's the toughest team on their schedule.
Who?
Michigan. They are. They get Marshall. They're at Temple. They get Buffalo.
Penn State?
Yeah. Then they play Wisconsin at home. They go to Northwestern. They get USC at home. They go to Michigan. They get Purdue, which is everybody's doormat. You get at Washington, Minnesota, Rutgers, and then at
That's
Maryland.
not that easy.
Well, tell me where that team comes up with 4 losses.
USC.
In that schedule.
USC.
I don't think so, because I think USC is overrated again.
They lost to them last year.
They're going to lose to USC.
Lincoln Riley's a joke.
This is a worse team that. I'm sorry. This is Iowa State. This is not Penn State. This is Iowa State. You got to look at it from that angle.
I don't have to look at anything.
Yeah, you do. This is look
Truth
at
or false?
look at the number of Iowa State guys that followed Campbell here to Penn State. This is literally Iowa State's football team. This is not a typical James Franklin Penn State team.
I have no faith in Lincoln Riley as a head coach. I have no faith in USC as a quality opponent to anyone with a record over 500.
All right, so I want you to go. Oh, this is the last thing we're going to do. Then we're going to take this conversation over to Patreon. We'll start with you first, Corey. If Ohio State goes 10-2, where are those 2 losses in your opinion?
Kent State and Ball State. No,
I knew you were going to say that.
yeah, I'm too predictable these days. I definitely think Indiana on the road is going to be tough. And I actually think the other loss could be Texas. So.
All right. Corey says Texas, Indiana. Sean.
I'm going to say Indiana, and I'm going to say Iowa.
See, that's kind of how I was leaning. I was going with both those thoughts you guys had.
Because I can see a big win against Texas early. You know, they get pumped up and they overlook Iowa. And, I mean, and even caught Urban Meyer and caught us in the past, you know, playing at Kinnick Stadium and bites us. So I could see that happening.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with what I think is the obvious. I think we lose 2 of the middle 3. I think we go down to Indiana and Oregon, who I think Oregon may be the best team in the country this year.
They have a lot of returning talent, and they have a chip on their shoulder. If I was a betting man, I would say Texas and Indiana. They're both on the road. We get Oregon at home, and it might be a must-win game for us.
That worked out for us so well in the past.
Well, we have a different defensive coordinator now, though.
Yeah,
Bart asked a great question, and then we'll finish it here. With this schedule, do we get into the playoffs with 3 losses?
Yes.
Anything's possible.
So Chris says yes. Sean says anything is possible.
I mean, honestly, Tulane made it. I mean, I think it depends on who they lose to, but I mean, I think it's
the comparison's got to be Alabama.
Tulane won their conference.
Yeah,
the comparison is Alabama. Would we stack up versus Alabama did?
Would we have to get into the Big Ten championship game at that point?
I think we do.
I think it all depends on who we beat too. I mean,
we would. Then that means that one of those losses would have to be Texas, obviously.
Yes, that's the only way that it works out.
One loss during the season, and then that 3rd loss in the Big Ten championship game. That's the only way that I think that would be worked.
Yes.
Corey, you agree?
I think 3 losses were out. So.
Okay. All right. There was one other question I had on my mind.
Well, with the new, actually, Eric, I want to change my answer because of the new rules. You got to think about the new rules where the 4 Power 4s are automatically in, and because of this stupid rule they put in to favor Notre Dame, because God help us if we offend Notre Dame, they'll take their ball and go home again.
Let them
cry into their pillow of a certain shape, and just that I think actually keeps any 3-loss team from getting in moving forward.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I tell you what, guys, this season is going to be something else, man. There's not a whole lot of snoozers on this schedule, man. Every week there's going to be another massive game. Even some of those games where we kind of shrug our shoulders at Illinois, Iowa, Northwestern, Nebraska, those are going to be entertaining games. Like the only 3 on this schedule I look at where I'm like, oh yeah, just wake me up when the game's over. Ball State, Kent State, and Maryland.
Yeah, because those 2 games between Oregon and Michigan are both trap games.
you know,
Yes,
That
guys,
would
I
be
do
good.
like that we have a kind of a warm up game before we get to Texas this year.
I do too. Yeah, and I think someone put that. I think RDCB
But
put that in the
Texas
chat.
also gets a warm up game before we get them this year.
Hey, on the way out, make sure you smash that like button, everybody. We appreciate all of you swinging by. If you caught the tail end of this, make sure you go back, watch the beginning where Chris and I yelled at one another. Don't worry, Chris and I are friends. It's just what we do. We yell about ball. It's part of our makeup. We will be back tomorrow with another panel for all of you. If you're not a member of Patreon, go over there right now. Sign up. Costs $5 a month. You don't have to extend it if you don't like it. We're going to go over to Patreon. We're going to continue this conversation over there. We might even let some of the Patreons jump in the Patreons of Patreon, jump in and give us their take on Deon and the schedule. So make sure you guys do that. We're going to head over there. Give us 5 minutes. We'll start the super secret after show over on Patreon. Take care, everybody.